Mabuhay! I am Apple Valencia together with Eden Claire Undag and Erika Velasco. We are going to tackle about Region 9, Zamboanga Peninsula.
The Zamboanga Peninsula is in Mindanao. It is located in southwest Philippines. It was known as Sibugay during the coming of the Spanish conqueror and later on was changed into Zamboanga from the capital town of the province, which derived its name from the Malay word Zambangan, meaning a place where wild flowers grow. We will discuss the history and creation, provinces and major cities, geographical features, language, and lastly, the major ethnic groups. The region was previously known as Western Mindanao before the enactment of Executive Order No. 36. Executive Order No. 36, Region 9, has been reorganized to be known as Zamboanga Peninsula, composing three provinces, Zamboanga del Norte, Zamboanga del Sur, and Zamboanga Sibugay. After the United States annexed the Spanish Indies in 1898, Zamboanga was briefly independent as the Republic of Zamboanga. It became a part of the Moro Province, which consisted of Mindanao and the Sulu archipelago. The name and the status of Moro Province soon changed to the Department of Mindanao and Sulu on August 16, 1916, that caused Zamboanga to become a province. On June 1952, the peninsula was divided into the province of Zamboanga del Norte and Zamboanga del Sur by virtue of Republic Act No. 711. Another major change in the territorial jurisdiction of Zamboanga del Sur, its inhabitants voted to create a new province out of the 3rd Congressional District named Zamboanga Sibugay. Zamboanga Sibugay is the 79th province created in the Philippines. Provinces and major cities. There are three provinces in Zamboanga Peninsula, namely Zamboanga del Norte, Zamboanga del Sur, and Zamboanga Sibugay. Zamboanga del Norte. The capital city is Dipolog. Zamboanga del Norte comprises 25 municipalities and 2 cities. Simdangan and Dapitan City are the top most densely populated in the province. These are further subdivided into 691 barangays and clustered into 3 congressional districts. Zamboanga del Sur. The capital city is Pagadian. Zamboanga del Sur comprises 26 municipalities and 1 component city, organized into 2 congressional districts and further subdivided into 681 barangays. And lastly, Zamboanga Sibugay. The capital city is Ipil. Zamboanga Sibugay comprises 16 municipalities organized into 2 congressional districts and further subdivided into 389 barangays. Zamboanga Peninsula has 5 cities: Dipolog City, Dapitan City, Pagadian City, Isabela City, and the highly urbanized city of Zamboanga. Geographical features. It has a total land area of 1.4 hectares. Zamboanga del Norte with 7,301 square kilometers. Zamboanga del Norte with 7,301 square kilometers. Zamboanga del Sur with 4,499 square kilometers. Zamboanga Sibugay with 3,600 square kilometers. Zamboanga Peninsula lies between the Moro Gulf, part of the Celebes Sea, and the Sulu Sea. Along the shores of the peninsula are numerous bays and islands. Language. The main language spoken is Cebuano. Other languages include Chavacano, Subanon, Tagalog, and English. The most commonly spoken first language in the province is Cebuano, while Chavacano is the majority language in and around and Zamboanga City. Tagalog and English are also widely used and understood as the national official language, with the former used as lingua franca between various non-local ethnic groups or recent migrants and their families. Minority language include Magindanaon, Subanen, Tausug, Maranao, and Iranon. Major ethnic groups. Zamboangueño Chavacanos was predominant ethnic groups in Zamboanga City. Of the total household of population, 45.5% classified themselves as Zamboangueño Chavacanos. It was followed by Tausug with 16.4%, Bisaya 12.3%, the remaining 25.8% were either Cebuano, Samal, Abaknon, Yakan, Tagalog, Hiligaynon or Ilonggo, or were from other ethnic groups. Port of access. In terms of access, international gateway, maritime route, land route, train and or bus services. A total of 11 airports are located in the region. One is classified as an international airport, the Zamboanga International Airport. Two are secondary airports and R9 are feeder airports. Zamboanga Peninsula has 8 national ports. The major ports of entry is located in Zamboanga City, which is the region's free port and special economic zone. Zamboanga International Airport. Zamboanga International Airport is located in Zamboanga City, Philippines. The airport is operated by Civil Aviation Authority of the Philippines. It is the main airport serving the region. Port of Zamboanga. Port of Zamboanga is a seaport located in Zamboanga City, Philippines. It is managed by the Philippine Ports Authority, Port Management Office Zamboanga, otherwise known by its corporate name, Zamboanga Freeport Authority. Pan-Philippine Highway. It is also known as the Maharlika Highway. It's a 3,517-kilometer network of roads, expressways, bridges, and ferry services that connects the islands of Luzon, Samar, Leyte, and Mindanao in the Philippines, serving as the country's principal transport backbone. Zamboanga City is located at the southern end of the Pan-Philippine Highway or the Asian Highway 26. This means you can reach the city by car via this highway connecting to Pagadian, Cotabato, General Santos, Davao, and the Surigao, basically linking to most of Mindanao. Major attractions located at the Zamboanga Peninsula. The most famous one in the region is the Pink Sand Beach, the Cock Beach Resort. The third attraction is the Fourth Pilar Shrine. The fourth attraction is Paseo del Mar. The fifth attraction is the Glorious Fantasyland. It is one of the biggest theme parks in the Philippines and another pride of Mindanao. It is located in Dapitan City. One of the famous tourist spots in Dipolog City is Linabo Peak. Linabo Peak is said to be that popular destination during Holy Week. It is a religious reenactment suffering of Jesus Christ on his way to the cross. It is located at Dipolog City, Zamboanga del Norte.
Next, we have tourism activities. First off, we have Pink Sand Beach and Great Santa Cruz Island. The twin islands of Santa Cruz are located in Basilan Strait, just off the coast of the city proper and about 4 kilometers or a 20-minute boat ride from Paseo del Mar. The smaller island, Little Santa Cruz, is closed to the public due to its use as a military camp, while the larger island, Santa Cruz Grande, is the one we typically see in the photos as Zamboanga's popular Pink Sand Beach. It is a small island populated by a small group of Bajaus that is accessible to the general public but only by prior agreement with the Zamboanga City Tourism Office. But what is it that gives the beach its pink hue? Well, that's because crushed red corals, called organ pipe corals, blend in well with the sand, giving it a pinkish hue, particularly in direct sunlight. If you take a stroll along the beach, you're likely to come across these washed-up corals. Guests who wish to visit the island can do so at the City Tourism Office on Paseo del Mar in Zamboanga City. No reservations are needed. The boat costs 1,000 peso for a round trip for 1 to 10 people. An additional 100 peso per person is paid for groups larger than 10. Per visitor is charged a 20 peso entrance fee as well as 5 peso terminal fee. There are also cottages for rent on the island. 100 peso for small, good for 6 people, 200 peso large, good for 10 people, and 500 peso large, good for 12 people. There is no lodging on the island and camping is not permitted. Next up, we have Merloquet Falls. It is divided into 2 parts. With a height of 10 meters, the lower level is the most dramatic. A view of the upper tier of the falls can be obtained by climbing up the side of the falls using 3 roots and a thick rope. Even the first drop can be seen from above. The upper tier features a series of interesting jagged rock formations that are approximately 5 meters high and slope diagonally. According to tourism officials, hiring a private van or renting a jeep for the day to take you all the way to Merloquet Falls is the safest way for large groups to get there. Visitors may also take a bus or a van from the city proper, 1.5 to 2 hours away, to Vitali. Fare is around 70 peso and 120 peso depending on what vehicle. You can hire a habal-habal from the junction to the falls at the Vitali checkpoint along the highway. Since the path from Vitali has been cleared, the hiking time is significantly reduced. Continue on the road until you enter a shed where you can pay your entrance fees. It will take about 10 to 15 minutes to walk 500 meters downhill to the drop. 5 peso per person for admission. Parking costs 10 peso per motorcycle and 20 peso per car or another vehicle. This trip can be completed in half a day if you leave early and don't stay too long. However, due to travel time and to have enough time for photography, it's best to set aside a full day. For hiking, bring extra clothing and proper footwear. For descending the stairs, it is the best to use hiking shoes. Vehicles may have the difficulty passing up the path leading to the falls on rainy days. Day trippers should bring their own packed lunch and drinks since there are no stores selling foods at the falls yet. There are garbage sacks hung from trees, but tourists are asked to take their trash home with them. Just your footprints will be left behind. Lastly, we have Paseo del Mar. The Spanish presence is palpable in Fort Pilar, a 17th century defense fort designed and used by the Spanish military. You'll be greeted by a vast courtyard with a white brick path leading up to the regal fortress that looks like something out of the Alamo when you arrive. Hundreds of bright white stars adorn Fort Pilar, which surrounds an outdoor shrine for Roman Catholics who believe the Christian Mother Mary appeared here many years ago. Come see how Filipinos worship in Zamboanga City by attending Sunday Masses. One of the most anticipated aspects of Paseo del Mar is the nightlife. The park is illuminated by live bands, food stalls, and bright decorative lamps. Next, we have Fort Pilar Shrine. The Real Fuerza de Nuestra Señora del Pilar de Zaragoza, Royal Fort of Our Lady of the Pilar of Zaragoza, also known as Fort Pilar, is a 17th century military fortress in Zamboanga City. Constructed by the Spanish colonial government, the fort, which is now a regional museum of the National Museum of the Philippines, is a city landmark and a sign of the city's cultural heritage. A Marian shrine dedicated to Our Lady of the Pilar is the city's patroness, stands outside the Eastern Wall. Fort Pilar is free to visit, but the museum has an admission fee. Next up, we have Yakan Weaving Village. Yakan are indigenous people from Basilan who moved to Zamboanga after fleeing the war-torn island. The colorful, locally crafted pieces such as placemats, table runners, brassware, and mass-produced batik with a traditional geometric pattern abound in this quaint, simple village. Tourists will have the opportunity to see how the Yakans weave their popular items in addition to shopping for souvenirs in Yakan Weaving Village. It is located 7 meters from the city center in Zamboanga City. The village is open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. The village is free to visit, and to get to Yakan Weaving Village, take a tricycle from the city center. Backpackers, solo travelers, couples, group of friends, and families are all recommended. Accommodations. First up, we have City Inn Hotel. City Inn Hotel is a great option for accommodation when visiting Zamboanga City, whether you're a visitor or traveling on business. The city center's excitement is just 1.9 kilometers away. The hotel's convenient location allows guests to easily navigate the city's must-see attractions. The City Inn Hotel provides excellent service as well as all of the required amenities to rejuvenate travelers. To ensure guests' convenience, the hotel offers free Wi-Fi in all rooms, a 24-hour front desk, luggage storage, Wi-Fi in public areas, and a parking lot. Also, it has free cancellation, pay at the hotel, and it is a 2-star hotel, and it costs 1,105 peso per night. Next to City Inn, we have Martian Garden Hotel. It is located 2 kilometers from the city center and offers easy access to all of the city's amenities. The hotel's convenient location allows guests to easily navigate the city must-see attractions. Also, Martian Garden Hotel's amenities and services ensure that visitors have a fun stay. To ensure their guests' convenience, also the hotel offers 24-hour room service, 24-hour front desk, facilities for disabled guests, express check-in and check-out, and Wi-Fi in public areas. Hotel accommodation have been carefully appointed to the highest degree of comfort and convenience. In some of the rooms, guests can find television, internet access, non-smoking rooms, air conditioning, and the hotel offers wonderful recreational facilities such as outdoor pool, massage pool for kids, garden to make your stay truly unforgettable. It is a smart choice for travelers to Zamboanga City, and it is offering a relaxed and hassle-free stay every time. Also has free breakfast, free cancellation, free parking, and it is a 3-star hotel. It costs 2,849 peso per night. Moving on, we have Garden Orchid Hotel and Resort. The hotel is located just over 2 kilometers from the city center and offers easy access to all of the city's amenities. The hotel offers a variety of high-end amenities, including 24-hour room service, a lounge, a smoking area, conference rooms, and a concierge. There are 201 rooms to choose from, all of which exude a sense of complete peace and harmony. After an action-packed day in the capital, relax in the hotel's fantastic facilities, which include a pool, sauna, spa, and an outdoor pool. It is a 4-star hotel and it costs 3,600 peso per night. Lastly, we have the Cac Beach Resort. It has 8 dining options and 3 outdoor pools as well as a private beach area where the visitors can participate in activities such as surfing, snorkeling, kayaking, and jet skiing. The front desk is open 24 hours a day, and there is a free Wi-Fi in the public areas. The CAC Adventure Zone, Rizal Landing Site, and Gloria de Dapitan complex are all within a 20-minute drive of the resort, which is nestled among lush greenery. Fitted with a private terrace, air-conditioned bungalows are furnished with a wardrobe, cable TV, and sofa seating area. Bungalows have an ensuite bathroom that comes equipped with a hairdryer, shower, and free toiletries. The CAC Beach Resort features a fitness center, tennis and squash court, and sauna facility, while massage treatments are offered at the spa. For convenience, the tour desk can assist with sightseeing and travel arrangements, while laundry and car rental services are available. From casual to fine dining, the resort offers numerous restaurants for guests to enjoy. Local, Western, Chinese, and Italian cuisines, accompanied with either live music or stunning views of their sea. Restaurants and bars are open till late, while some operates 24 hours. It is a 4.3-star hotel. It costs 5,796 peso per night. Tuala Itum. Despite looking a lot like dinuguan, it definitely has a different taste. The Tuala Itum is a type of beef and goat stew with a broth blackened with roasted coconut, seasoned with spices and ginger. This bowl can send you on a roller coaster ride on Zamboanga's flavors. Kurma. Kurma is a popular dish in the city. It is the local version of curry. Kurma had the best texture and just the right amount of spice, which was probably caused by the careful braising of the meat in coconut milk during the dish's preparation. Ensalada chamba, a flavorful blend of smoky grilled eggplant, mango, and salted egg. The ensalada chamba is a dish you could eat at any time of the day. The sweetness of the diced mangoes blended the flavors of the dish so well. Ensalada chamba is available at La Vista del Mar in Upper Calarian, Zamboanga City. Next is chupaculo, a traditional viand. The chupaculo is a dish of cooked snails served with a thick sauce-like broth made from squash and coconut milk. The snails were not deshelled, so the meat stayed moist and flavorful inside. Eating the snail meat required sucking it out of the shell. Next is paella chavacana. Zamboanga was one of the places where the Spanish colonizers first established a settlement, and the paella is just one of the few influences that they left in the peninsula. Generously topped with prawns, clams, peas, and green beans. There's some Spanish influence in the dish, but the local version was a true delicacy. Lato, the local term for sea grapes. The seaweed clusters are salty and they are mixed with unripe mangoes and a sauce created with a combination of shrimp paste and coconut milk. Most restaurants in Zamboanga City serve lato as one of their appetizers. We have coracha, one of the most famous dishes in the peninsula. The coracha, a hybrid of a giant sea crab and spiny lobster, is a rare species of crabs abundantly found in the waters of Zamboanga and the nearby Sulu. The dish can only be served and eaten fresh here. Unlike ordinary crabs, the bulk of the meat of the cucaracha was inside the crustacean's body, not inside its claws. Eating it is a challenge, but it is certainly delish. Next is oko oko, a cooked sea urchin with rice inside it. The rice inside the sea urchin was sautéed and flavored, which blended well with the natural saltiness of the sea urchin. The traditional way of eating it is like cracking it like a boiled egg. We have knickerbocker. The knickerbocker is the Chavacano version of halo-halo. A glass was filled with sliced frozen fruits, gelatin, and light strawberry ice cream on the top. Lokot-lokot, or also called Zamboanga rolls. This dessert, usually eaten as a snack, is made from fine rice flour and water. The thick mixture is then poured into a strainer with small holes and then rolled and fried in a pan. These crispy rolls had a very light and pleasing taste, like a wafer. Festivals and special events. Zamboanga festivals, like most in the Philippines, symbolically reflect a renewal of the past, celebrated in the present. Festivals are a way of remembering a community's and its people's mythical or historical origins. Since many of Zamboanga's festivals are inspired by the Hispanics, the youngest of all cultural groups in Western Mindanao is also a result of Spanish colonization in the southern Filipinas. The Hermosa Festival, or also known as Feast Pilar, is a month-long celebration held every October in the city center of Zamboanga Peninsula. The citizens of Zamboanga honor and celebrate Nuestra Señora del Pilar, or Our Lady of the Pilar, the city's patron saint. The Zamboanganos' devotion to the patron saint is bolstered by a plethora of legends and stories about miracles and apparitions. These legends are passed down from generation to generation, allowing the saint's tale to continue. Sports, events, musical concerts, trade fairs, the Chavacano Song Festival, and the renowned street dance contests involving various schools in the city are all part of the Hermosa Festival. The Wow Zamboanga is the last but certainly not the least of all things. It is a talent show that highlights the tastes, thoughts, abilities, and the talents of various neighborhoods, and it's usually the highlights of every visitor's festival experience. The Zamboanga. The Regatta de Zamboanga is a part of the Fiesta Pilar, or the Zamboanga Hermosa Festival. It's a water sports event with vintas and bangkas made in the region. These watercrafts are colorful. Mindanaoan outrigger boats used for deep-sea trolling. The designers of these boats used a mixture of bold and vivid colors to represent a hermosa, which means beautiful in Spanish and Chavacano. Though Filipinos and people from all over the world can watch the action, only Zamboanga residents are permitted to participate in the racing competition. Each boat could hold 2 people who would paddle at the same speed as the wind, which would carry the sail along a 400-meter path. The first 5 finishers receive cash prizes, food packages, and appreciation for their efforts. Flores de Mayo. The city of Zamboanga was established on the site of a native settlement by Spanish forces in 1635. The Zamboanga comes from the Malay word Jamboanga, Hamboanga, which means a place of flowers, such as bougainvillea, orchids, and other tropical flowers. Since then, Zamboanga City has been known in Mindanao as Ciudad de Flores, or City of Flowers. Zamboangueños organized an annual month-long celebration in May to celebrate the city's founding. Flores de Mayo, also known as Mayflowers, is a May festival dedicated to the Virgin Mary. Many locals commemorate the occasion by placing flowers in churches and village chapels in the barrios. The Virgin Mary, decorated with colorful floral decorations, is paraded at some point during the month. The festival culminates in a month-long celebration with Santa Cruzan, which includes a parade of young ladies through town. It is a religious pageant that also portrays Queen Helena's discovery of the cross. Filipinos come to the city to participate in the Flores de Mayo parade, which they do in stunning national gowns. Lastly is Zamboanga City Bird Festival. Because of its favorable ecosystem, Zamboanga City is not only rich in bird life but also a desirable destination for migratory birds. Aside from that, migratory terns and wader species, including sandpipers and plovers, frequent the city's coastal wetlands. A variety of bird species such as black-crowned herons and great egrets use natural fish ponds as breeding areas. As a result, the Zamboangueños wanted to commemorate the lovely and natural occurrence. When Zamboanga hosted the 9th Philippine Bird Festival in 2014, the festival began as a protest against the city's glory. Throughout the festival, all participants march in bright bird costumes and local restaurants highlight their unique cuisine. Major cultural and ethnic groups. The majority of Zamboangueño Chavacanos live in Zamboanga City, but there are pockets of them in the Zamboanga Peninsula, as well in Basilan, Sulu, and Tawi-Tawi in western Mindanao. Chavacano is a Spanish-based Creole language that is also known as Philippine Creole Spanish in linguistic circles. Spaniards who settled in the Philippines mixed with the locals and married Filipino women. Both sides had to learn each other's languages in order to communicate. To communicate, the locals combined Spanish with their native tongues. Under the Spanish influence, Zamboanga was renamed San Jose Fort in 1635. The Spanish friars requested military assistance in order to spread Christianity in Islamic Mindanao and protect the fort from Muslim pirates. Laborers from Luzon and Visayas, Spanish troops, Cavite Masons, the largest community of newcomers, Sakadas from Cebu, Iloilo, and Dapitan, and the Samal and Subanon tribes all congregated during this period. The intervention of the Spanish military as well as the establishment of religious and educational institutions resulted in the creation of a pidgin that eventually became Chavacano, a Spanish Creole. The language has been spoken in the area for more than 400 years.
Region 9 Major Industries. Zamboanga Peninsula is the first export processing zone in Mindanao. Almost 50% of the region's total land area is used as agricultural land that serves the farming industry of the region. Coconut was the predominant permanent crop, while rubber followed, and also banana crops. Palay was the major temporary crop, also tubers, roots, and bulbs. Hog raising dominated the livestock, while raising chicken was the primary poultry activity. Ornamental and flower gardening is also common in the region. Fishing is also one of the most main economic of the region. Its home industries include rattan, furniture craft, basket making, weaving, and brass work. Language dialect: Filipino, English, and Chinese are the predominant languages spoken in the region. Visayan, Cebuano is spoken by about 2/3 of the population and the predominant dialect. Chavacano, on the other hand, is the main dialect spoken in the city of Zamboanga. Basic greetings and useful phrases. My name is, or in Chavacano, mi nombre es, or mi nombre, followed by the name. For example, mi nombre es Erika, mi nombre Erika. Another example is, where are you from? Or, de donde lugar usted? De donde lugar vos? Another is, good morning or buenos dias. Afternoon greeting is buenas tardes. And lastly, evening greeting is buenas noches. Travel and interesting trivia. 1. Zamboanga was once the biggest city in the area in the world. Not until the island of Basilan became a chartered city and was pulled out of Zamboanga City by virtue of Republic Act number 288. Zamboanga lost its claim to the title as the world's biggest city in the area in 1948. Second, one progressive area in the city is called Ayala. Maybe the name may connote an upper-scale economic status since it bears the same name as the affluent center in central business district of Makati in Manila, and there may just be some truth to that. Ayala is one of the most progressive barangays in Zamboanga and holds 4 of the biggest processing plants for sardines and other crafts. Ayala can boast of its high employment rate until the closed fishing season comes. Third, Zamboanga is the sardines capital of the Philippines. 9 out of the dozen sardines company in the Philippines are operating in Zamboanga. 70% of the city's economy is attributed devoted to sardine fishing and processing. Fourth, there is a coconut museum in Zamboanga, one of the most important branches of the Philippine Coconut Authority. The research and development is found in Zamboanga City. Next, the mystery of Recodo. There is this barangay in Zamboanga called Recodo, also known as the Shipbuilding and Repair Barangay. At any day of the year, there is at least a dozen ships dry dock in the area. Next, the most inexpensive 18-hole golf course membership in the world is in the city. Playing your sport in Zamboanga will save you one set of your anatomy, because to play in the 1920 golf course founded by General John J. Pershing, one of the oldest country club in the country, will cost you peanuts. Next, Zamboanga has a very exclusive residential land. The Santa Cruz Islands. It is not only famous for its pink sand beach, but also for its exclusive residential island in our country, perhaps even in the world. Anyone can visit this very popular destination in Zamboanga. Just coordinate with the Philippine Tourist Authority in the city. To move and live in the island is prohibited. Lastly, by the lagoon of the Great Santa Cruz Island, you'll find the exclusive village of Sama Bangingi tribe, the only group that can live in the islands. No migrants allowed. Only through childbirth by the present inhabitants will the head count in the island increase. Lastly is the proposed tour itineraries for family. Santa Cruz Islands, pink beach and mangroves. Next is the Fort Pilar Shrine. Eco-tourist. Candice Cave. For spelunking enthusiasts, don't fret as Pagadian. Handful of caves ready for exploration, such as Candice Cave in Barangay Dagatan, about 15 kilometers away from Pagadian. Used to be accessible only by grueling horseback, motorists can now visit Candice Cave.
So that is all for our video lecture in Region 9, Zamboanga Peninsula, and I hope if you visit or travel there after this pandemic, I hope this video lecture is or was helpful to you. Thank you for listening. This is Valencia together with Claire Undag and Erika Velasco signing off.